You guys might hear Jax in the background too. Okay, so why don't we go over these questions first, and I'll just, because I'm going to go over the questions that like I had posted a long time ago, if you guys remember when I posted that and people were asking questions. I'll go over some of these, and then if any pop up that you guys have, you can ask them. Or if you know, like your coaches might have any questions like that, you can ask those too. Jax, can you not chew on the thing? Okay, so somebody had asked, what did Dorothy? Maybe how to not feel guilty needing to work when he's home. So how do you not feel guilty is what you meant, Dorothy? Do you want to elaborate on that since you're on?
Oh, just because like when Timmy's home, it's very easy to be distracted, you know, by him or like stuff he's got going on, or can you help me do this or whatever in the garage? And so like, or even if he's just like wants to watch TV and I'm like, oh, I need to go work, but we don't get to see each other a whole lot. So like, so this question is more for Lauren, I guess. How do you not feel guilty for when you have to work in Nick's home? And maybe Nick, do you feel maybe neglected at all if Lauren chooses her business over certain stuff with you?
Sweet. I guess for us, when he's gone during the day, that's when I try and get like a majority of my work done. So like when you know, like if I'm sure you know when he's gonna be home more than when he's not, like his work hours, right? So maybe when you know he's gonna be home, try and work less and just work when he's gone. Like when Nick's gone during the week, I do a lot of things during the week when he's gone. Like my nights are full of Zooms and one-on-one calls because he's gone. And then when he is home, like this week he's home in the evening, so I try and not do like as many one-on-one calls and like Zooms and stuff. I don't know if that, I'm not somebody who really feels guilty though. When I'm like, because if he's sitting and watching football, I might be sitting like next to him watching not football and working a little bit, but I'm still like sitting next to you. And I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know.
No, not really. I mean, I don't know.
Because I started doing that. I was like, okay, I'll sit next to you on the couch while you're watching whatever. And then he's like, well, why don't you put your phone down? And I'm like, I don't want to watch sci-fi. Like, to me, it's just like no point. But he wants me to be like present right there while he's watching whatever this is. So, but otherwise, I try to get most of my stuff done during the day, like at work.
Right. And I think if you get most of your stuff done during the day, like you get your big chunk done before he gets home, then that might be a time for you to just shut off anyways, because you're probably in that cycle of like trying to work 24/7 and you're not sticking to your business hours. Yeah. So that might just be something where you feel like you need to be constantly working when really you don't. If that answers that question.
Sure.
Does it answer the question? Did you have anything else you wanted to say with that? Okay. Next question. How do you set and dream together for the future? This is one too that I think me and Sam, we were kind of talking about. And maybe you could answer, like when we started like goal planning like each year and like what our goals were for the future, did that make it feel like you were more of a part of the business than just me being like, well, I'm doing this for us, but you not really understanding like what our goals were that I was pushing for?
Yeah. I think it kind of made me feel like I was a part of it, maybe a little bit. And I guess it kind of got us both on track for what we wanted and to kind of really think about it. And I don't know, I guess just kind of dream and just kind of get your ideas out there, get your dreams out there, and to kind of be on the same page.
Right. And we don't do anything specific. Like we don't, like for dreaming and goal setting
we
together.
Just talk about it.
Yeah. Like we're not, okay, it's this time of the month. Like we should probably sit down and like just goal plan. Like we just kind of do it like sporadically whenever we're like, oh, this would be a really sweet goal. Like we should try and figure out what we need for this goal. Or like debt is a big one, I think, like figuring out how much debt we want to pay off this year. And like that kind of helps to have. And I know, Sam, you guys are really good at like that kind of stuff. And that's a goal, like that goal you guys have together. So like involving him on like your business goals too, because it's like your business is both of your guys' business. And I think that's the biggest thing that is, I know for me, I feel like it helped me make it feel like it was our business when I started saying it was our business. Like, this is our business, not just my business. No, people are coming on.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Victoria. I'm just answering questions that people had posted about a while ago. So if you guys have like any random questions that you can think of, feel free to, well, maybe raise your hand if I'm talking. Or kind of going like that. I don't know. Did that answer that question? Setting goals. But I definitely think doing it together makes it feel like you're working towards something and you understand. Like he might understand then like why you're working so hard. And I normally tell Nick like, okay, like this next quarter I'm really pushing, so like I might be working more. Like I'll let him know that, and whether it seems any different than normal, who knows? I don't know. There was another. Did I want to talk about something else along that line, Sam? There was something else.
Well, I don't know what you had already gone over, but I know I had a question that I posted in the group. And my question, I guess I'm coaching. I started out coaching. He had nothing to do with it. He doesn't want to have anything to do with it. But I know that as coaches grow and build their team, it's more of our team kind of thing. Like is it still your team, or has it gotten to a point where you were like, I guess this question would be for Nick, that you feel like this is something that you guys are doing together, even if you may not be working actively like she is?
No, yeah, I do feel like it's our business. I mean, we're kind of in it together, being married and stuff. We're a team, so we have to kind of work as a team. I think you probably feel a little bit, I don't know, just alone if it was just you and I was kind of didn't want anything to do with it, or.
Yeah. I think too, like for the husband, the support part is like more of making it feel like it's our business, because I'm sure like if you have somebody who doesn't like support what you're doing, you feel like you're doing it on your own and then it's your business. Where if they're there supporting you, it's your business, whether they're doing it or not. And I think like, I feel like it was Andre or somebody who said like her husband like picks up slack on certain things, like does more laundry or does cleaning or something like that. And those types of things are still like working in with your business because it's less things that you have to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Because, he's not actively working the business, and I don't foresee him doing that, anytime soon. But I guess it is our business because I do bounce a lot of ideas off of him. I'll ask him, questions about posts or, how to say this and that. He gives me his input there, takes care of the kids when I need to hide in the room for a little bit longer. So I guess we are making it that way without me realizing it.
Right. Exactly. And I think like it's your guys' money. Like your money that comes in from Beachbody is not like it's your own spending money. It's both of your guys' money together, so it's your business. And I think with that too, eventually, like my goal is to eventually, our goal is to eventually have it be where Nick can be doing the type of work with the business that he's good at. So like, maybe keeping track of more of the money stuff, like more of like the back office, like the numbery type stuff. So like eventually your husbands can start doing that kind of stuff when they get to, like when you guys get to a point when they're not working or whatever, you know, like if that's a goal. So that makes them maybe feel more of part of the business. Okay, let me see what other questions. Oh yeah, Victoria, you said that. Oh, something with the balance in time. Like I think this was a big question for a lot of people is like, how do you balance? And we kind of talked about it with Dorothy, but like how do you balance your business and work and then hanging out with your husband and your family and all that kind of stuff. And I think like for us, it's different. We've never really had that issue because I feel like when we weren't married, I was living at home. So like I would get my work done before I would like come and see you. So like that was different. But now that we've been married, I've been working as a coach full time. So I'm like home during the day working. But I think if we weren't, if like I was working when you were working, I think communication is going to be your biggest thing. And like communicating when like, okay, when in the night can I have that hour or 2 hours to work my business and not have it like feel like I'm taking away from you. I think that would be like one of the biggest things for you guys. If you're struggling with like finding that balance to not feel guilty because you're working, is communicating with your significant other, like, okay, when, you know, like sitting down and like, just like you would goal planning, like sitting down and figuring out like your schedule, like, okay, when in your day can you work when he's home? Like, when would that be okay for you and for him? So you guys are like in agreement. So you don't feel like you're like working around him and like stepping on toes and stuff. I don't know if that answers that question. Anyone had that question? Because I know that's one I get a lot. Do you think that would help coming from a guy?
Yeah, I guess just kind of agreeing on a time, you know, if he has something to do for a little bit and you can get away and go, you know, work your business or something, that's, you kind of have to talk about it, not just kind of just leave the room and
right.
Go sit somewhere else and work your business while he's
wondering what you're doing.
Yeah.
Something too, I know, like before we got married, we did Insanity together, and I feel like that was fun for us to do together too. You know, so like I know that was a question. I don't know if somebody was saying, I think somebody had said something about like how do you get your husband to like work out or something like that, and is making faces at Jordan, I assume, is standing over there. Now I feel like he's like, oh, it was probably Sam that asked this question. I don't think it was though, Jordan. But somebody had asked like, how do you get your husband to like work out and like eat healthy? And I think like not pressuring him and nagging on him, because I know there's probably times where I was like, you probably should work out. You haven't worked out and like blah blah blah. But I know like when we were doing Insanity, that was fun for us to do together. You know, like we got up early, like that was before we got married. So I was working full time and you were working full time, and we like got up early every morning and we worked out together. It was kind of like our thing to do before we started our day. I think that was fun. That was, well, the workouts weren't fun. The workouts were hard. But together it was fun, and I think that kind of...
Yeah, together was fun because you kind of had an accountability partner to be there with you when you were working out. And I just kind of kept you motivated to keep going. And then when you're seeing results, you know, after a week or so of doing it, it was more fun that way too.
Right. But I think that was like, because you always worked out before. But was that the first workout we did like together that kind of got you into Beachbody workouts?
Yeah, I think it was Insanity.
I think too. Okay, so like asking you that question, how can the wives help get their husbands into like doing something like working out with them, or eating cleaner or drinking Shakeology or something like that without feeling like super naggy?
I guess finding something that maybe interests him, whether it's maybe he likes to lift weights or if he's a cardio guy, or I mean, just maybe stepping out a little bit out of what you like to do and find out what he likes to do and maybe do that for a little bit. And that kind of gets him to see, like, you're willing to try something else and new, something that he likes. And if you keep with it,
Yeah. Because, like, we did Asylum, too, together.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a workout I would not have wanted to do because it was, like, super.
It was a little more sports Yeah. And that's stuff that I like to do. But, I mean, you were doing it, and you actually did it more than I did. So
when you were gone a lot. But so, like, that's a question for anybody who had that question, like, that's not watching, too, is, like, find something that they might like that's maybe not. Sometimes I think guys have, like, this perception, too, that, like, workout videos at home are so girly and they, like, don't work and we need to be in the gym to work out and stuff like that. And I don't know if you were ever like that before we started doing workouts at home, but I feel like some guys have that perception of, like, working out at home and, like, following a super girly.
Jordan really likes the performance line, so I'm glad they came up with that.
That's a really good line. It gives them kind of something different than just, like, you have to drink Shakeology. And when did you start drinking Shakeology? I don't think you started drinking it until I literally moved in.
Yeah. So you, like, signed me up and said, okay, you're going to start drinking this?
No. No.
No, I don't know. I think it was when you moved in and
you started taking mine.
Yeah, because I liked it.
And we ran out really fast. Yeah. And I had to have you get your own. I know somebody had said too, like, where Emily, I think it was Emily, she's not on, but she had asked something about, does he help recruit on his account? If so, does he do it, without feeling like a jack, but I'm not going to say the A word. And you don't really, like, really recruit at all for your team. But I think eventually, like, when you're home more and you're able to have more, it'd be fun to have you do, like, figure out how guys do it. Because guys do, like, I mean, you guys have seen guys work the business. There's a lot of guys who are super successful that work the business. So it's not like, obviously, they figured out how to do it without being a jack A. I don't really have a question or an answer for you, Emily, on that one. Unless you could think of something, if her husband wanted to work the business. I think it's totally different, guys working the business, because it's like,
I don't know. It's hard to get over feeling like a creep or like you're, like, stalking somebody or you're trying to just, like, start up a conversation with somebody you don't know. I don't know. I've struggled with it too. It's kind of why I'm not haven't really pushed over the hump yet.
But you had a really good idea, and this might be something we work on, like, this month for all, like, the husbands out there, is creating a Husbands of Beachbody group. That was your idea. And I think that would be a sweet idea to just have a group for, like, because all of you guys, like, probably all of your guys' husbands are coaches. So, like, creating a group for you guys that a group where you can bounce ideas off of, and, like, if any of them feel like, I don't know, they're struggling. I guess. What else was your ideas for that? Ideas.
I don't know if they had any questions or if they had any ideas they wanted to bounce off, or if they were struggling with something, maybe they couldn't talk to their wives or girlfriend about, if they just wanted to share it in the group and see if anybody else had the same issues or troubles, or I don't know. I just kind of wanted to have it for the guys, for a support, for not to feel like they're the only people and their wives are, in this Beachbody business. But I mean, there's a lot of guys out there too that see this, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes, I guess.
I think it's a good idea. Do you guys think your husbands would be interested in something like that, where it can be like, it can just be like a guys group, like they can do, like, whatever. Nick said they can, what did you say that one time where I was like, keeping it positive, of course, or something, like, complain, we can talk about our wives and their businesses or something. And I was like, but keeping it positive, no complaining or something like that. I think that would be a cool idea, just so you guys, like, the husbands can kind of, like, relate, like, oh, my wife has been working a lot lately, and somebody, like, if somebody knew, like, oh, they're in qualifications, or it's the end of the month, you know, like, sometimes I don't think our husbands know, like, if you haven't hit Success Club yet by the end of the month, you might be working a lot more. So, like, if one of the husbands knew that and was like, oh yeah, dude, it's the end of the month, like, has she hit Success Club yet? Because if she hasn't, she's probably pushing and not working a lot more. And I think that's a good idea too for like a check for husbands. And I don't know what you think, like, if this is something that you think would be good for husbands to do, to kind of like check in on their wives, like to see if they're like hitting Success Club 5 every month and saying it in a way like, hey, you know, like, how's it going on Success Club this month? Like, they might not necessarily, like, I don't know if you know what like Success Club is, but that way it kind of gives them something to like check in on you with, to like feel like they're a part of it, you know? It can kind of give them like something to be like
in control of a little bit.
Yeah, like numbers, because I feel like guys are kind of like more numbery. So if they were to check in like, hey, have you guys hit, like, not you guys, have you hit Success Club yet this month? How's it going with that, or something like that? Like, just something that they can ask you with, so you can be like, oh yeah, like, I've helped 3 people with the challenge pack this month, or I signed up 2 coaches, so I'm at Success Club 4. I just need like 1 more. So it's kind of that accountability at home to kind of give them an insight to the business, and not just like you guys just putting your heads down and not talking to your husband about what's going on. So I think that's why husbands would feel like they're not a part of it, if you're not really talking to them about what's going on. Yeah.
I try to tell Eddie when things are going on. Like this week, I signed up for that like page training thing. So I told him, it's like, okay, I got a new training that I got to be doing this week. So that's what I'm going to be doing at night after the kids go to bed. So I try to be open with him. But when you said, you know, have him check in with me on my Success Club, I can just imagine, like, on the 28th of the month, how you at with the Success Club. Like, oh my God, like, if I haven't hit it, I would have just totally blown up with him. Like, I haven't hit it.
You probably should blow up at them. But it might give you that more like accountability at home, to be like, you don't want to tell your husband like, no, I didn't hit it, because then that's kind of showing that you're not staying consistent with something. You know, like, you're probably not inviting enough people or whatever. So it kind of gives you that more of an accountability factor at home. A question that I can think of for you is, when do you think was your turning point when you were kind of like, okay, Beachbody is like legit? Because like, yeah, like when we first started dating, I was already a coach. So like, it was already a part of like, so like, when in the last 5 years were you kind of like, okay, like, this is a legit thing, it's not just Lauren playing on Facebook?
When I went to that first summit, I think I really realized like this was a real actual business company, and they were doing big things. Just to see, I mean, it was in Vegas. I've never been to Vegas before, but just to see the amount of people and the amount of coaches and everybody who's so like excited about it, or just on fire for it. Yeah, it was just, I don't know, it just kind of opened my eyes. Like, this is an actual thing, and you can make a living off of, you know, Facebook and doing this stuff. It was just kind of bizarre to me. I've never even seen anything like that before. So.
And do you think it helped seeing like other guys? Because I know like after your first summit, we came home and you were kind of like, oh, like, I kind of want to do this, like, get into it. Like, did it help seeing other guys being super successful?
Yeah.
Because I think Wayne Wyatt was
the top coach.
And you came to like everything with me that first year.
Mm-hmm.
He was so good. He sat through like all the long trainings and everything. So like, that's something. And I know some people ask too, like, should my husbands come to Summit and stuff like that? And my opinion is, if they're gonna come and they're not gonna like make you feel guilty for going to the trainings and stuff like that, then they should come. But if they come in, they're like, no, don't go to the training that morning, like, come with me and let's go like walk downtown or something like that, then it's probably better for them not to come, because
Yeah.
You're not there for that.
Yeah, because I feel like it's business. You're there for business, and you're there to see, all these people who have come to share their tips and ideas with you. So why not try to get the most out of it and go to all the seminars and,
But it was nice to have you there too, because you get that like that male, not opinion, but like
camaraderie.
No, like perspective. Whoever said perspective, yes. Perspective. It's like, what is that word? Yeah, so that was kind of good.
I think that's what I'm lacking with my husband. Like, he does the workouts and I make his shake. So of course he drinks his shake, and he's signed up as a coach, but I don't think that he's going to build a team, which is fine if that's not what he wants. Right. He doesn't like talking to people.
And Nick doesn't build his team. I build his team for him. So it's like, I think people have that perspective that like, if I sign up my coach or if I sign up my husband, he has to build his own team. And like, eventually maybe you will down the road when you have more time to be home and like be on a computer.
Yeah.
But I think people think that they, like their husbands actually have to sit down and build a business, and they don't have to. Like, I think you were my coach that got me to Emerald. You were probably my Emerald that got me to Diamond. You were probably my first Diamond that got me to Star Diamond too. So like I kind of used him. I kind of used his account like as my second account, if that makes sense. And some people will say that that's like totally against, I don't even know if it's against coach policy. I don't know. I don't think it's against coach policies, but people will say you're not supposed to do that. But if you ask any of the top coaches, they'll all say that their husbands are like their first diamond and their first 5-star diamond probably. I don't know. So I think like if you think about your husband's account too as like your account, then it works.
Yeah. It's kind of like your personal checking or your joint checking type of deal, isn't it? I mean,
kinda.
You're both using it.
Yeah, no. You're both using it. Do you guys have any questions that you can think of like while we're on live? Any live questions? I was gonna see if there's any more questions in here. No, everybody's gonna be super quiet. Like, I don't want to talk. No questions? Are any of your husbands sitting next to you that have questions?
Mine's not. He's at school, but I don't have any more questions, but this is just kind of like gave me a little bit better perspective on things. Some of the, I'm not quite sure if my questions were answered or if my thoughts were just reaffirmed that we are kind of on the right track with this being our business. That's really what my main thing was, is just I wanted to be sure that this was something that we were doing together, even though he's not, actively doing it. Like, we're taking baby steps. Like, he is eating 21-day fixed approved foods and doesn't even know it.
Right. So. And I think, like you said, like if you're bouncing ideas off of him and he's giving you different ideas, and like Nick is my spell check person. Like, so there's different things that he might be doing that you might think like, well, he's not like sitting down at the computer every day and like messaging people, but he's doing all these other things that are for your business and letting you work your business, so it's still a you thing or a like together thing. Support. Does anyone have any questions about like how to get your husband to be supportive? I don't know if any of you guys struggle with having unsupportive husbands. I know there's people out there who have unsupportive husbands, but
I think if anything, I tell my husband to stop reminding me when I forget to do something. Or like I forget to write down the time of a meeting. And he's like, you never remind yourself.
How are you supposed to remind yourself? By writing it down?
Yeah.
Oh. Do you have any tips on like a guy's perspective on how, like what a girl can do to help them be more supportive without being like super naggy? how, like, what a wife can do to help their unsupportive husband be more supportive without being naggy. A loaded question.
Wow. Oh.
I know, that was a loaded one. Sorry.
My perspective.
What a
you.
Yep. How I can help you be more supportive without sounding like naggy.
I don't know if I really get it.
Okay. Anyone have a better way of explaining that question? If you're unsupportive,
And so she about you supporting.
yeah, what can I do to help you be more supportive without feeling like I'm being really naggy
Or pushy.
or pushy?
I don't think he wants to answer for fear of being wrong.
No, I'm just trying to like relate it somehow. All I can really think of is when, when you were working out and you were drinking Shakeology all the time, and you're kind of like, did you work out yet? And you just say something. I mean, you wouldn't even have to like nag. It was just you'd say it one time, and then it'd be like, no. But it would just kind of like eat at me, just those little words. I don't know. You weren't really ever naggy. I don't know.
I think letting guys letting them in on a little bit of the business, but letting them go at their own pace. I don't know how to even explain that.
That's kind of what I had to do. I just kind of had to back off a little bit. I mean,
but you guys still have to communicate, I think that's the biggest thing with finding balance is still finding, communicating and sitting down, okay, if you're struggling with not having time in your day and you feel like you're taking time away from him, sitting down and being like, okay, what time in the evening can I spend an hour working? What time, is it 6 to 7? Is it before dinner? Is it right after dinner? Where can I spend that hour working so you don't feel like I'm taking it away from you? And having him help you come up with a time. So that way he knows okay, from this time she's going to work and I'm going to watch my TV show, or I'm going to watch the football game, or I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And he doesn't feel so you're neglecting, I guess. If that helps for anybody who has husbands who feel like they're not getting all your attention. I'm probably I'm bad at probably working when we're just not when we're watching a TV show that we both like, but when you're watching football, I'm probably sitting next to you working, which to me, I feel if he's watching something that I don't really care about, like football, it's okay for me to work. And I don't know. We've never really talked about that. That's just my feeling. Yeah. Is that an okay feeling to have?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. You're doing a good job. Any other questions? We have 5 minutes. No. Is this helpful to do more? Eventually, do you think if we do 2 of these a month or something like that, and you guys think eventually your husbands will start to feel more comfortable to get on and ask? I seriously want to reach into your screen, Sam, and just this camera. I know he's standing over there. Hey.
laying on the counter.
Is that what he was laying on? Turning into a cat? Because I think it's something that it's important. I think it's really important to have your husbands be supportive and know that this is something that you guys are doing together, and you're working your business. You're working your guys' business for your goals and letting them know what you want those goals to be, so they know what you're working towards, because I share with you what I'm working towards, so that way you kind of know okay, she's working towards making this goal happen, and it's not just they don't know what's going on. So maybe that can be an assignment for the week, is sitting down with your hubby and like just dreaming and goal planning and letting them know like what your goals are for the business and how maybe they can help like keep you accountable to them, and setting up hours if you guys struggle with that balance of hours, like setting up hours and having them help you pick those hours to work and really sticking to them. Because I think sometimes, like I know when we watch movies and stuff, like it's hard, or it can be easy to like both of us be on our phones and not really like watch the movie. So like something you could do too is like leave your phones upstairs and watch your movie downstairs, or like leave your phone in your bedroom and watch the movie together and stuff like that to have more quality time. So I think our phones can totally take over our lives. That goes for you too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially during fantasy. Anyone have fantasy husbands? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Yeah. Dorothy, you're lucky.
It's not that bad.
I'm just kidding. Nobody has any other questions? No?
No.
Oh, now somebody gets on. Rudy. Okay, well, if no one has any other questions, I'll get this up on our YouTube channel. If you guys haven't checked that out, that's tried searching it. If anybody's tried searching it and it comes up, let me know. I tried Victoria, your typing is so loud. I'm muting you. I'll put this up there. Hopefully it will be up tonight, and then you guys can look it over. If anybody has any other questions, let us know, and maybe we'll just make a video going over any other questions too. Nick wants to get better at videos and talking. So
It's a goal.
it's a goal.
Thanks, guys.
Sound good? Okay. Thanks for getting on.
Yep.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.